Hey everybody, it's Christina of CraftyPaws. I'm back after having gone on vacation and then unfortunately getting really sick with the flu and then complications from that. So it's been a long time and I apologize for the big hiatus from my craft room. And plus, being in my craft room makes me happy. So I'm so glad to be back here and I'm here to share with you guys a kind of trash to treasure project. It's of a kind of cutesy steampunk thing, and you're seeing images of it now. And I wanted to share with you guys not the entire long process, which took several days, but actually just the process in terms of enough to show you guys each step and share with you guys how I created this. So first off, you can see I've got a new hot glue gun, and I was asked by the company who makes this glue gun to do a little review. So I've got that up on Amazon and I'll link to that in the description box below. But this hot glue gun just pours out glue. It's so fast in heating up and stays hot for a really long time, even after you unplug it. But I really liked it. The first time I used it, it smoked a little bit, but after the second time I used it, it was great. And like I said, it stays hot for a really long time. So if you need to take your glue gun out somewhere away from power sources, it's pretty amazing how long it stays hot and the hot glue continues to come out. What you're seeing here is that I had an old wooden K that I had bought in clearance from TJ Maxx for a couple of bucks 4 years ago, and it's been sitting in my craft closet until I figured out what to do with it. And what I'm doing is I'm putting on strips of fun foam, just strips that I've cut out from a scrap piece of fun foam to kind of create the look of metal strips. And then I created with more glue gun dots the look of rivets on each of these strips. And I'm going to show you here how I go about doing that because it was a lot of trial and error. You put down a little glue dot, and then in order to get the glue string from doing that, you should stop pressing the glue gun down and actually twist around kind of in a circular motion, like I'm showing you right there. And then it comes out looking like a clean dot. So what I did for that top dot that had kind of skewed over is I waited for it to fully dry, and then I just picked it off, and it came off really easily off of the fun foam once it was fully dry. Now I'm showing you guys over and over here how I do these little faux rivets, and it's basically drop the dot and then circle around above, and then the string from the glue dot or from the glue gun basically gets so thin that it kind of, cuts off naturally, and that gives you a really nice clean dot. Now I'm going to show you guys kind of hopefully up close more. You can see my motion here in doing these little dots, but I wanted to show you guys up close what it looks like. So I'm going to focus down here and show you guys two dots. And of course, the first one is a mess, so I'm waiting for that to dry. And then you can see it just picks right off super easy once it's fully dry. And then I can redo that rivet. Boom, and that's done. So after I've done both sides, and doing one side, it took a few hours to fully cure and get hard, and then I flipped over the K and did the other side. And now what you see me is doing is using a stencil brush to put on modeling cream. This is a Deco Art black modeling cream, and I wanted to give a full coverage of this entire K. And you can see me, I need to get into the sides of this, and I'm not going to show you all of that detail, but basically it creates texture and seals the wood and the foam. So it's got a good foundation or base before I use this Artist's Loft metallic black paint. This is really inexpensive at a big box store. I think I got this at Michael's. Did that on both sides, let that fully dry overnight, and then I'm taking Deco Art metallic luster, which is kind of a wax, and I'm applying it just with my fingers, and it's really creamy and smooth, and I'm trying to make sure that I don't eliminate the texture that I was able to create with the modeling paste. So I'm trying to use a very light touch. This is a lot of trial and error. I kind of wanted the whole thing to look metallic, so I ended up, what I found, I tried first on the back side of this, as you can see here. So trying to figure out what layers I need to put on to get a nice kind of deep aged metallic look. And what I found was ultimately I liked the gold color around all the edges of the actual wooden letter, as well as on each of the strips and on top of the rivets. And then I was able to go back in with an even lighter touch with the, I think it's called Champagne Ice, which is a beautiful kind of slightly warmer toned silver, which I thought gave the black painted K a real metallic look. And also, because of the modeling paste, those foam strips also have a kind of a nice matching texture, because I had applied that modeling paste with that stipple stenciling brush, that stiff brush. And I will be linking to all of the materials that I'm using here in the description box below, so you can try this out if you guys like. I love the way this kind of ultimately came out. I think I'm pausing here because I'm trying to figure out a nice even coating of the whole K, and trying to figure out how to get into those nooks and crannies, the vertical parts, if you're looking from the perspective that I'm showing you right now, kind of the insides of the areas of the K as well as on the sides. I want to really get into the nooks and crannies right by where each of the strips is, attached to that K base. And I think it's coming out looking nice and rugged, very steampunky, which was the whole idea of doing this. The K itself, as I mentioned, I had gotten on clearance, so there was lots of chips and dings and scrapes, and I knew I didn't want to keep it white because my craft room decor is with dark woods or black brown. So I knew I wanted to make this kind of match better with my decor in my craft room. And here, wherever I got too much of that luster cream on, I am using a wet paper towel. And this is the finished look. I'm showing you the back side because the front side, as you can see, now I'm going to be adding the steampunk dogs that I had Copic colored up probably about a month ago at this point. This is from the Dilutions Puppy Tales stamp set, and I had colored up each of these cuties. And I think I'd posted all of the processes for these pretty much on my YouTube channel previously, but if you're interested, I will link to those videos, or my Instagram, wherever I posted it, I can't recall, for each of these dogs. And that's the finished look. I'm just gluing these on with some wet glue onto the areas of the K that I thought they would be highlighted best. And that's the finished little cutesy steampunk project. I like to mix in cutesy with my steampunk, which is not typical, but I really like how this came out. I finally got to use up this K that has been sitting in my craft closet for like 4 years at this point. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. I hope you guys are having a wonderful crafty day.